Getting set for the kickoff at Ford Field. Let's go to the sideline. Jennifer Hale is standing by. Jen?
Sam, you know, a lot of players have specific pregame routines to get their mind set for kickoff. For the Bills' new starting quarterback, Kyle Orton, it's a locker room phone call to his dad for some final words of wisdom. Today, Orton told me his dad told him, number one, have fun, you've earned this. Number two, be smart, protect that football. Wise words, Sam, against this Detroit defense.
Thanks, Jen. What do you think, Rondé? August 29th, he signed. He didn't take a snap in preseason. Here he is. He's got to get it up to full speed.
You know what? And the hard thing, if you're the Detroit Lions is right now, playing against him, you have no film. No film from the preseason. You have to go back 4 years or so and trying to find what he likes on offense. And Detroit tried to do that this week to get a feel for who Kyle Orton is going to be a quarterback today.
The Bills won the coin toss. They've elected to receive. C.J. Spiller is deep. In week 2 against Miami, he had a 102-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That's Sam Martin, who will kick off for the Lions, who are bunched up and break out, and we are set to go in Detroit. Martin kicks it off. C.J. Spiller waits. 8 yards deep, he takes a knee. And now Kyle Orton will lead the Buffalo Bills onto the field. In his first action, he played in the last game of the regular season last season for Dallas, a 24-22 loss to the Eagles. Lifetime, you saw his record, 500. His first year in the NFL, he was 10-5 with the Bears.
Very steady player. He got off to a really fast start in his career, but he coincidentally has been through exactly what E.J. Manuel's going through right now. He's been benched in Chicago and in Denver. This will be a great learning experience for this young quarterback, but this Bills offense has got their quarterback today.
Fred Jackson starts at running back, powers ahead, and gets 5 yards on the play. Let's check out the Bills on offense. Here's a key, I think, in today's game. 2 rookies starting on the offensive line. They're in the skilled position. We'll see C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson back and forth. The rookie, Sammy Watkins, outstanding prospect, his wide receiver, but the rookie lineman.
Yes, right tackle, Central Henderson and Cyril Richardson at left guard. Got big jobs ahead of them today. This defensive front for Detroit is impressive.
Orton, short drop, puts it up. Sammy Watkins on the catch. Broke a tackle, gets a first down. 4th pick overall, Sammy Watkins. He looks like a good one. First down for the Bills. Defensive line, oh, they strong.
They're very strong. There's 2 tackles, and add in C.J. Mosley, who we'll see some today. In the linebacking core, you lose your starting middle linebacker, but Tahir Whitehead steps up. He had a great preseason. And in his secondary, those 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers really for Buffalo, are going to test those guys on the back end.
C.J. Spiller in the backfield now for Buffalo as Orton works out of the shotgun. Blitz coming. Swing it out, and they miss connection.
Now this offense, much like when E.J. was running it, loves to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly. You saw that play looked like a screen, but it was designed to go to the running back right away. And Nate Hackett, who's upstairs today calling the plays, he's got to find some early success for his new quarterback, Kyle Orton.
His dad, Paul, wants us to call him Nathaniel.
Yes, Nathaniel Hackett, you're right.
Here's C.J. Spiller, not much there. There's that front line. That is one strong defensive line, outstanding against the rush. Lions overall #1 in defense in the NFL in yards given up.
And as you know, Sam, that starts up front. The Ndamukong Suh, Nick Fairley. We talked about Cyril Richardson in the game that he's going to have against those guys if this team is going to run the football.
5 defensive backs in, 3 wide receivers for the Bills. And here's a 3rd and 10. Movement on the line. That was Cyril Richardson, the rookie out of Baylor, his 2nd start.
Ball start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty.
He's playing for the injured Chris Williams, who's out for the 2nd week in a row with a back injury. The head coach, Doug Marrone, making the big decision. The players seem to handle it pretty well in the change at quarterback.
I think they knew that they needed to make an adjustment. You know, players aren't dumb in the NFL. They see when things aren't going well, and they all know that EJ was struggling quite a bit. So they were all behind this decision.
On 3rd and 15, everybody out. Orton finds Fred Jackson out of the backfield. Short pickup. The ball may have come out here, and it's recovered by the Bills. Brings up 4th down. A strong series there for the Lions defense.
Yeah, Fred Jackson, who's pretty reliable ball handler. Ball comes out, but pops right back into him.
Colton Schmidt goes back to punt for the Bills. Jeremy Ross is deep. Dangerous return man. And they stop the play. Whistles had blown. Delay.
Prior to the snap, delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
You don't see that very often, a delay a game on the punt, but Detroit there had all 10 guys standing at the line of scrimmage. Confused the protection a little bit and couldn't pull the trigger.
Had a look at Jim Caldwell.
See it again. Look at both of these guys on the edge. Brought in one of the gunners.
And Schmidt gets away. Good high kick. Ross waits for a fair catch and takes it just across the 30-yard line. Kyle Orton checking things out with his offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. We'll be right back. Back in Detroit, Matthew Stafford off to a good start this season.
A great start. He's completing over 64% of his passes. When he's that efficient with these weapons, watch out.
Down to 2 running backs with Joyce Bell and Theo Riddick still out. Bell a concussion and Riddick with a hamstring problem. Short run by Reggie Bush. Gets 3 on the play. Let's take a look at the Lions offensive unit. Jed Collins, the fullback. Reggie Bush will carry the load at running back, but they're the 2 receivers.
The 2 receivers are paramount to this offense, but also Reggie Bush. I talked to him before the game, asked him if he was ready for an increased load. He said, yeah. But we'll also see a bunch of George Wynn, who's in the game right now. Coaches are excited to see what this young guy can do.
George Wynn making his NFL debut. He's been to several training camps wearing number 38. It's a local product out of Southfield, Michigan. Stafford chased out of bounds. Back at the 32-yard line. Loss of a yard on the play. There's George Wynn. Boy, this has got to be quite a moment for him, Robbie.
Yeah, coming. It's his home debut. From the area. Coaches raved about what he did in the preseason, and to a man, he said, Coach Caldwell told us, to a man on that offensive side had no qualms with him getting some playing time today. We'll see quite a bit of him take some of the pressure off of Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush back in on 3rd and 8 for the Lions.
Attack 51 and 52.
So 3 receivers to the left side. Everybody out. Stafford gets time, goes to Reggie Bush, and he's taken down short of the 1st down. Brandon Spikes got the first hit on Reggie Bush, and the Lions go it out. So the defenses, both strong, have come up strong in the first series.
That's what this game's going to be about. Both of these defenses have been dominant in the first quarter of this season. Both offenses, huge challenges.
Leotis McKelvin is back deep. Sam Martin, who's off to a great start in his rookie season, or rather his 2nd season out of Appalachian State. Averaging over 50 yards per punt. He sends McKelvin back inside his 10. Looking to return, and McKelvin gets across the 15. Flag flies in as McKelvin brought down at the 17-yard line. And we got a little extracurricular activity after the whistle. Players have to be separated. McKelvin ushered away from the pile. The referee today is
During the return,
Wallstad.
illegal block in the back. Return team, number 15. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
And penalty on Chris Hogan. The Bills set back to their 8-yard line. Hogan with the hit in the back, and they're penalized for it. Lions defense, a big factor in their early season success. Orton out of the shotgun. C.J. Spiller gets a couple of yards up to the 11-yard line. Nick Fairley with a tackle for the Lions. How about this Lions defense? They're strong against the run.
Very strong against the run. You see Nate Hackett there spread out the offense, 4 wides. It's ran the football, but it's going to be tough sledding today. We know what these guys are up front. They're number 1 overall. They're second against the pass in defense in the league. And we saw what they did to Aaron Rodgers a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be a challenge. Kyle Orton has been through this, though. He's a vet of this league. He understands how to take advantage, and he is a fact loss to the Detroit Lions.
Orton goes straight back, being rushed, and down he goes. He's brought down inside the 1-yard line. Ashley Palmer blitzing from the outside. I don't know if Orton ever saw him.
Ashley Palmer down here at the bottom of your screen, and look, it's just a miscommunication up front. C.J. Spiller, who was not the best blocker in the backfield, completely olays Ashley Palmer, and it's a sack. Kyle Orton. This defense has been doing this all year. Get off the fast start. Another linebacker in the midst and in their blitz package, and big play by this Detroit Lions defense early.
Ball spotted just across the 1-yard line. You have to get to the 19 for a first down.
Delay game. Offense. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Down remains third.
A lot of noise down there. It's got to be tough on Kyle Orton.
Yeah, it's got to be. At this point, though, when you're the Buffalo Bills right now, you just want to get some room for your punter. 3rd and 18, you can't really expect to convert this. This crowd's going to get loud again, though.
Fred Jackson takes the handoff. Fights his way across the 5-yard line to give punter some room, and then he is shoved back. Boy, the Lions defense fired up. That's James Ahedebo, who returned to the Lions last week. He's an impact player.
Big difference in the secondary. We'll see him. We'll see Abdul Kudus and Glover Quinn all in the game at the same time. They got a lot of variables that they can spread around in this Lions defense.
Jeremy Ross back deep, standing right around midfield. Colton Schmidt, you see him just about a yard from the end line. Got room to get it away. Good kick. Pedaling is Ross to 34. Some room to return. Outstanding return by Jeremy Ross in the Bills territory at the 48-yard line. Great field position for the Lions. The defense set it up. It started with a sack by Ashley Palmer. Back at Ford Field, injured player on the field for the Buffalo Bills is defensive back Ron Brooks, 3rd-year man out of LSU. And he was blocked and sent flying and landed right on his head, Rondé.
Yeah, you'll see this in see a Detroit Lions punt guy come down on the right side of your screen and upends him, but we think it's his neck after that collision right there with the ground. They got the backboard and the emergency personnel out on the field now. You hate to see this in this game, but at times it happens. Oh, that's scary looking.
Well, the medical staff down on the field. While they check him out, we'll go back to our studio to Kurt Menefee.
All right, Sam, we'll show you a couple of special team touchdowns from around the league. That's Chicago's Teddy Williams being hit in the back by the ball. Carolina's Philly Brown scoops it up, takes it 79 yards for the punt return touchdown. That made it 7-0 there. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, from Philly Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles, another special teams touchdown. James Casey blocks the punt of the Rams, and it's scooped up by Chris Maragos. He takes it in for a 10-yard score. They lead it 10-0, third straight game that the Eagles have scored a touchdown on special teams. Sam and Rondé.
Thanks, Kurt. Maragos was brought in from Seattle to help the special teams of the Eagles. Right here in Detroit, the concern is for Ron Brooks, the head coach of the Bills, Doug Marrone, out on the field. The players, as you can see, thoughts, prayers, hoping everything's okay with Ron Brooks. Back here at Ford Field in Detroit, as the medical teams continue to work carefully on Ron Brooks.
Yeah, we'll see this play happen right here, right at the 40-yard line. It's an inadvertent contact. It wasn't a low hit.
That's
by
Jerome Copeland.
Yeah, it wasn't a low hit by Copeland. He was falling in as he was blocking and just taking all the precautions necessary here with Ron Brooks on the field, and as players on both sides right now gather around. It's incredibly difficult. I mean, we're all, as players in the NFL, you're all brothers in arms. You all play for your team, but you love each other too. And you can see the angst and concern on both teams' faces here as Ron Brooks is still laying on the football field.
It's going to be a tough situation to watch, and then to get back and have to play right afterwards.
Yeah, I've been in these situations. Had a guy with us, Quincy Black, it happened to in a Buffalo Bill game, and he ended up having nerve damage in his shoulder, and he was on the field for 20 minutes or so. And you got to remember, you got to find a way to tell yourself that game still goes on, and all you can do is hope for the best, and that the medical staff will take the utmost care of your teammate and competitor.
Reggie Bush acknowledging Ron Brooks as he is carted off the field to the locker room, and that's a great sign. Let's go to the studio, back to Kurt Menefee.
All right, absolutely great sign there. Meanwhile, we'll try and keep you updated as to what else is happening in the league. Eli Manning hooking up with Ruben Randall, 3-yard score. Giants up 7-0 as they try and get their third straight win. Sam and Rondé.
Thanks, Kurt. I like that last sign, the wave of the hand. That obviously you see mobility. That's a positive.
Absolutely, it is. And again, I'm sure that initial reaction, you're scared as a player, and they got to take these precautions. Got to strap you down. Giving that sign, that hands up, is great for everybody in this building right now.
Lions start from the Bills 47. Reggie Bush splits outside, everybody out. Stafford has some pressure, and they got him. 11th sack, the 12th sack this season on Matthew Stafford. I think that's one thing that concerns Jim Caldwell and the Lions coaches.
Yeah, pressure up front. Right here, you're dealing with Marcel Darius right there in the middle, just powering through Rob Sims there for that sack. You know, one of the benefits of having a team punt from backed up is that you're in great field position for a chance to get at least a field goal out of it. But that sack there complicates the issue for the Detroit Lions offense now.
Loss of 7 on the play. George Wynn is back in at running back and carries his first NFL carry. How about that? Close to the 40-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. And Denoris Searcy, the safety for the Bills, is hurt on the play. Searcy, the fourth-year man out of North Carolina. It looks like the leg injury, as you see, the doctor checking him out.
If Searcy can't go, they do have Duke Williams on the roster, but Let's go back to this run real quick. You see Rob Sims on that pull there and seals that gap on number 97. Big
Corbin
run
Bryant.
for his first run, Corbin Bryant.
27, 37, 24, 22.
3rd and 4 for the Lions. Denora Searcy to the sideline, replaced by second-year man Duke Williams out of Nevada. There's Matthew Stafford throwing down the middle, and the ball is dropped by Golden Tate. Did not hold on. So on the 3rd down, Lions have been really good on 3rd downs this season. It went to Golden Tate. There's Denora Searcy on the sideline.
Yeah, rare drop there for Golden Tate. He's been a man right there in the slot working on Nikel Roby. Got away with a little hole, but really Roby does a good job. Not so much a drop as Roby getting his hand in there and disrupting that play, but Matt Stafford is looking for his #1 receiver on the year so far and just missed.
Sam Martin with the punt, way up in the air. Fair catch, wave 4 by Fred Jackson, and the Bills do a good job and get the ball back. That's Denora Searcy, who had a leg problem, went to the sideline, now jogging to the locker room to be checked out. Ron Brooks already in the locker room being checked out by the medical staff. And meanwhile, Buffalo's defense comes up big, 2 3 and outs for the Lions.
Yeah, so far the story of this game has been the defense on both sides. Kyle Orton and his offense get a chance to prove themselves again. Got to get some quick throws here. Got to establish a running game as well. They got to get out of this backed up situation where they've been their last 3 drives.
Fred Jackson, the running back from the 13. Orton off the play fake to Jackson, or rather to Summers, the fullback. And he is knocked out of bounds. No gain on the play. We go down to the field to Jen Hale. Jen.
Well, Sam, what we know so far in relation to Ron Brooks and how he's being treated by the team, they are examining his neck at the moment back in the locker room. So far, they say they do not believe x-rays are needed in this case, but I'll let you know as soon as we know more, Sam.
Thanks, Jen. We'll keep an eye on that. 2 DBs for the locker room for Buffalo. Fred Jackson, the running back, spins across the 15-yard line. Ashley Palmer in on the tackle again. He's already made his presence felt. The Lions lost Stephen Tulloch, who hadn't missed a game up until last season when he had the sack dance, injured his knee, had surgery this week. Successful surgery, should be ready for training camp next season. Right here, big 3rd down play for the Bills at the 16. Orton wants to hurry it up, gets the snap, gets time, and connects to Chris Hogan, and it's short of a 1st down. It's close. And it is 4th down. As you see Craig Rolstad, the referee, signaling.
Like that play call, though, by Nate Hackett, trying to get some easy throws here with Kyle Orton. Everything you see is going to the flat. Make these easy throws. We have yet to see him push the ball over the middle of the field yet, though. And I think they're going to have to trust him as a pocket passer going forward here. This Detroit Lions defense really stout on the outside.
Colton Schmidt to punt. Jeremy Ross back deep in his own 30-yard line. It's been a short kick. And the fair catch called for by Ross. Took it on the run at the 43-yard line. Again, good field position for the Lions. Kyle Orton, thus far, came out of Purdue where he followed Drew Brees as the starting quarterback. Drafted by the Bears. Started as a rookie. 15 starts. Went to Denver. Was supplanted in Denver by Tim Tebow. Went to Kansas City. Moved on to Dallas where he backed up Tony Romo. And now here he is in Buffalo.
So far, he hasn't found much success. We're going to see as this game goes on. I think that his knowledge will come through and his experience will be a benefit for this Buffalo Bills team today.
George Wynn, the running back, and the rookie takes it. He's a power back, is described as a one-cut running back.
Yeah, a couple of cuts, getting vertical. He's more in the mold of Joyke Bell, who's out today, as opposed to Reggie Bush, who we both know and all know is a home run type hitter. He's always dancing in the hole looking for that cutback or that explosive run. Joyke Bell on the other hand, George Wynn on the other hand, as evidenced in the preseason, wants to get downhill, get those tough yards.
Wynn stays in.
Tag 51. Tag 51. Alert 27 coming. Ready. 80.
3 wide receivers in. It's George Wynn on the delay. Power straight ahead. Strong run by Wynn. A first down at the Bills' 46-yard line. Jen Hale, what do you have on George Wynn?
Sam, you know, this is a hometown hero type kid. He went to school just 30 miles from here. He still lives with his mom and dad and his brothers. He says he's so honored to finally play in his first regular season game in front of the folks who have supported him through journeying through 6 different NFL teams. Sammy told me he just doesn't want to let him down today. That's his one concern.
There you go. Signed out of college. Undrafted free agent with Houston, went to New England, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Dallas, and now the Lions, and making his NFL debut. That's Brandon Pettigrew, the tight end, taking the pass for Matthew Stafford, going down at the 39-yard line. And Matthew Stafford spreading it around, hasn't gone to Calvin Johnson yet.
Have not heard Calvin Johnson's name yet. He's coming back into the football game now. Just like last week, he's getting some limited time on the sideline. Jeremy Ross getting some more opportunities to play wide receiver, but he's in the game now. Split out left.
Reggie Bush, the running back. Jed Collins, the fullback. Looking to swing it out to Reggie Bush. Picks up a block. There he goes. Slips one man inside the 15, wrestled down at the 12-yard line. That's how dangerous Reggie Bush can be.
And that's what you talk about, Reggie Bush getting him in space, and this looks just like he did when he was in New Orleans. Joe Lombardi, same type of screen pass out to the flat, get him in one-on-one situations with a tackler, and he almost always wins. Big play for this Lions offense, and because of the quickness, acceleration of that guy, Reggie Bush.
Aaron Williams, the safety, missed him. And Bush brought down at the 11-yard line. Stays in the game. Shift to the shotgun. It's Bush inside. Not his strength, but he gets a couple of yards. Mario Williams in on the tackle.
You know, with Joyke Bell out of this football game, who was getting a majority of the running plays for this offense, you know, Reggie Bush, who I think they want to keep around 15 snaps a game, is going to end up well over that. 20, 25 probably touches today for this offense.
Saw Denarius Searcy come back from the locker room. Looks like he'll be able to come back into the game for the Bills. 2nd and 8 with George Wynn, the running back. Quick turn, and the quick pass is caught by the tight end Eric Ebron. His second NFL touchdown. He caught one last week. And the rookie from North Carolina.
So just on the outside, lined up at the #1 receiver outside, and Matt Stafford said he has some unique talent, this kid. Goes down, makes a nice catch, and stints to the end zone. But so we just saw that replay, and this is going to be reviewed because it's a scoring play. Doesn't look like
the previous play is under review.
All scoring plays are reviewed, and they will check this one out.
Yeah, as we saw this replay just now with you guys, it doesn't look like he is possessing this ball long enough to be a completion. That's clearly on the ground there. And I don't know that he made enough of a football move to say that that's a completion.
All right. So the people back in New York will check it out as well as the referee, Craig Rolstad. We go to our man who knows it all as far as rules go. Mike Pereira will be coming in with us. What do you see, Mike?
Yeah, this is an interesting play here because you've got to look at the three elements of the catch. Does he have control? I would say yes. Then 2 feet down, he does. But now, does he lunge? Does he perform an act common to the game, stretch the ball out? I think it's coming loose even before he stretches out. So I really don't see the third element of the catch being involved here. So if it's me, I think I reverse this to incomplete.
Oh. All right, Mike.
Yeah, that's it's kind of how I see it there, and we're getting it, of course, in super slow-mo. Ball popping before he gets to the line of gain. Now,
Mike, why would it not be considered a fumble?
Well, I think because you have to complete 3 elements of a catch when you're headed toward the ground, period. And that is control, which he got first, 2 feet, which he got second. But then that third element is you have to maintain control of the ball long enough to perform an act common to the game. What is that act? It's pitching it, passing it, doing something like that.
The ruling on the field is reversed. It is an incomplete pass. The receiver lost the ball going to the ground. He did not complete the catch. Therefore, it will be 3rd down and 8 on the 9-yard line.
Mike, thanks so much. You got it right as usual.
Mike's kind of a smart guy. You think he knows. He probably wrote some of these rules. But yeah, you see that ball clearly coming out before he gets to the goal line. Doesn't complete the act of the catch. Didn't do enough of a football move to make it a fumble and a recovery for a touchdown. So ends up at 3rd down.
3rd and 8. Jim Caldwell looks on. Even demeanor of his. He has brought that to the Lions. He says his club should be happy to be 3-1, but there's a level. You got to move on. You got to keep on looking at the next game.
The old coach, Jim Schwartz, and I tell you, some teams assume the personality of their head coach, and the teams always had talent. But that personality on that sideline now, Jim Caldwell, seems really well suited for this football team.
Reggie Bush in the backfield with Matthew Stafford. Stafford with time, throws, touchdown! Golden Tate. Boy, give Matthew Stafford some time, and he'll burn you as he did there.
Well, they had Calvin Johnson lined up to the bottom of the screen, and he got double attention. But at the top of the screen, they bunched you up. And offenses love to bunch you up to expand you. That's exactly what they did there. Got some room, got some combination routes, and he found his new receiver, Golden Tate, for the touchdown.
Alex Henry's extra point is good. Golden Tate's first touchdown as a Detroit Lion. And the Lions take advantage of good field position and drive in.
See Golden Tate out there at the number 1, and all those receivers going different ways, and that nice little spin move back inside. Golden Tate, I tell you, great addition to this football team.
Matched up against Stephon Gilmore one-on-one. Made a nice little move to the inside. Boy, off to a great start. Jim Caldwell.
With no reaction. Stoic at his best right there.
That's Jim Schwartz trying to play defense against his former team.
Standing on the other sideline today. First time he's done that in a long time.
Yep.
You saw his ex-quarterback march that ball down the field and make some really good throws. And also, his defense now played so well to start this football game. Pressure on that from this offense it's too much sometimes.
Now it's incumbent on Kyle Orton and the Buffalo offense to get something going. C.J. Spiller is back deep. Final seconds of the first quarter. The Lions grabbing the lead. And the defensive lineman talking things over for the Bills. Sam Martin will kick it off. Spiller waits and lets it go over his head and through the end zone, and the Bills will start from the 20-yard line. We go down to the sideline to Jen Hale.
Sam, Kyle Orton seems unrattled by this start. You can tell his veteran presence is at work. Besides reviewing photos with the coaching staff, he's been rallying his O-line and encouraging his running backs and wide receivers on the sideline. Meanwhile, E.J. Manuel has sat with him for a few moments, but mainly, Sam, he's been watching from close to the sidelines.
Thanks, Jen. They start from the 20. With C.J. Spiller, the running back. Bounces it outside. And the Lions are there. Outstanding play by Darius Slay. And we've come to the end of the first quarter. The defense is dominating the first couple of series, and then the Lions offense began to roll. The hometown team taking a 7-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Sam Rose and Rodney Barber, Jen Hale in Detroit. Lions have a 7-0 lead. Bills have a 2nd and 9 with C.J. Spiller, the running back. Kyle Orton, the quarterback. Here's Spiller, straight ahead. And the big guy stopped him. And Ndamukong Suh stood him up and took him down.
Nowhere to go when you're running in there. Ndamukong Suh right there in the middle of your screen, just dominating. Here's the line of scrimmage. You know, this Buffalo Bills offense has been in a backed-up situation basically this entire first quarter. Starting at the 20, the 9, the 13, the 20. They need an explosive play here, Sam, to get them some room, get them some confidence moving this offense down the field.
3rd and 8. 5 defensive backs in for the Lions, including your former teammate, Danny Gore. Here's Orton, turning and throwing and completing to the tight end Chandler. He's hit hard, knocked out of bounds, up at the 37, but he's got a first down.
Nice play there, nice delivery by Kyle Orton. Detroit was in a too-high man underneath type defense, and he got a one-on-one with DeAndre Levy with his tight end. He made a nice sharp throw for that first down.
Fred Jackson is the running back now in the game. Good receiver out of the backfield. 3 wide receivers. Oh, and it's intercepted! Rasheed Mathis going for a touchdown!
I'll tell you what, Kyle Orton, call him a pocket passer, but he throws on rhythm a lot of the time, and he thought he had Sammy Watkins out there. Looks like they're on different pages, though, and Rasheed Mathis read that from the get-go. He backed up like he was getting ready to play off-coverage deep thirds, but he was sitting in the flat, and that was as easy an interception for a touchdown as you'll see in the NFL.
Did he see that all the way, or did he guess on the play?
I think he was a flat defender there, and he was just where he was supposed to be.
Lions with a 14-0 lead. The defense puts points on the board. Rasheed Mathis, the pick and a touchdown and a frustration for Kyle Orton. A lot of action here in Detroit today. Later on this afternoon, the Tigers try to stay alive against the Baltimore Orioles. Jim Schwartz telling us he's got torn.
Yeah, conflicted.
Grew up in Baltimore, loved the Tigers when he was here. Lions kick it off. C.J. Spiller watches it go through the end zone. Bills will start from the 20, and tomorrow the National League Divisional Series continues in St. Louis. They're a game apiece. Dodgers got the big home run from Matt Kemp and defeated the Cardinals 3-2. That series 1 game apiece, and it all begins tomorrow at 9 Eastern on Fox Sports 1.
Look at these two kids, Matt Stafford, Clayton Kershaw, childhood buddies.
Wow. Now, we don't have pictures of Matt Stafford catching Clayton Kershaw, but they were a tandem. They were a battery. Marquise Goodwin dropped for a big loss by George Johnson. And Buffalo unable to get anything going here offensively. This is a tough spot for Kyle Orton to come into. This is the first action he's seen since last December.
Look at this, 2 touchdowns in 81 seconds. Obviously, the interception for a touchdown, big part of that. We just talked on the last drive about this offense getting something going, and so far, nothing that Nate Hackett is dialing up is working.
And the flag goes. False start.
False start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Lee Smith.
You got to wonder what the psyche is, Sam, of this Buffalo Bills team right now. You've just changed quarterbacks. You were hoping for some success, and they've gotten absolutely none right there. You see the quarterback coach, Todd Downing, calling in the plays from upstairs. They've got to find some success somewhere.
That's the 5th penalty on the Bills. C.J. Spiller carrying and nothing there. Boy, the Lions tough to run against. And Ndamukong Suh leading the way, and the leading tackler, DeAndre Levy, involved. He's having a terrific start to this season.
Here you go, Suh on Peters again. I feel like just whip him out of the way.
Block him.
Bit the knee right there in that gap, took on that double team, shedded that would-be blocker, made another big play in the backfield. People wonder why he is what he is. Just look at a play like that. You know why Ndamukong Suh is as valued as he is.
Bills have to get to the 30 for a first down. Fred Jackson carrying as they play it safe. They get to the 18-yard line, and out comes the punting team. Now, somewhere along the line, if this continues, you have to think about E.J. Manuel coming back in, don't you?
I don't know if they will, Sam, but I'm sure people are starting to think that. E.J., though, I think this is a good situation for E.J. to be backing up Kyle Lorton. Kyle Lorton, they gave him the reins this week. They're his. They're not going to have a knee-jerk reaction because they're struggling in this game and put E.J. back as a starting quarterback in his football team.
That one booted away by Colton Schmidt. Jeremy Ross slips one man. Gets outside. Stays on his feet, and then he's tripped up at the Bills' 40-yard line. The punter, Colton Schmidt, might have saved a touchdown on that one.
He almost did. Jeremy Ross getting a big part of this football team on receiver, but he is a great returner as well.
That's Fred Jackson trying to pull the offense together.
Yeah, obviously, new quarterback, feeling like they can't get anything going right now. It's great to have that kind of leadership on the sideline. See what that leads to when they come back on offense.
Lions start from the Bills' 40. That's George Wing. Gets a couple of yards on the play. The middle linebacker, Brandon Spikes, takes him down.
Keep talking about these short fields that the Detroit Lions have had today. All those backed up situations for Buffalo, their punch. You get a good return by Jeremy Ross, gets to the ball at the 40-yard line. It's easy to play offense in this league when you only have to go a short distance to get in the field goal range. And that's what Detroit's had all day today.
George Wynn getting the chance to run the ball with Joyke Bell on the sideline. Empty backfield. Matthew Stafford gets time to throw too high and intercepted. Stephon Gilmore taking it across the field, trying to pick up a couple of blocks. Big pick by Stephon Gilmore, and a flag comes in late. Matthew Stafford had all the time in the world.
And he had the guy that he had ISO there in Reggie Bush. But a throw that was a little bit behind Reggie ends up in an interception for the Bills. And it is the break we were just talking about off camera that this Bills defense needed.
6th interception of the season for the Bills, and Gilmore's first. Lengthy discussion here about the flag, which came in late on the return by Gilmore. Everybody wondering what's going on, and now we'll get the announcement.
There was no foul on the play. The result of the play is an interception, return, first down, Buffalo.
All right. So the flag is picked up.
You'll see Reggie Bush right here in the slot. They got the matchup they wanted. You see that working on that linebacker, and he's open, but Matt just makes a bad throw. It's behind his receiver. Moore's just sitting in the flat, cover 2, whatever defense they are back there, and thank you. Nice little gift.
And look, the Bills have good field position.
For the first time today.
At the 49-yard line. With Fred Jackson in the backfield. Let's see how the offense responds now. It's Jackson. Not there, and Ndamukong Suh. He is having quite a game. There's a flag on the play. I don't know, you might take 3 guys to block him.
I'll tell you what, I know one play that's not working. It's that one.
Holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
The tight end, Lee Smith, called for the hold.
Of course, that is not on Ndamukong Suh. He's second from the top. He's right here. Just goes past Wood. Bounces off Cyril Richardson. And I'm telling you, they might need 3 bodies on Ndamukong today.
He just shed both guys, took each arm and just shoved them aside.
He doesn't want to talk about his contract, Sam, but he keeps playing like that, and everybody else will for him.
Awesome. Back to the 39-yard line. Jackson goes outside, flying on the play. Jackson out of bounds up to the 46-yard line. Check up the flag. Maybe on the Bills again.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Cyril Richardson, the rookie out of Baylor, his second NFL start with Chris Williams still out with a back problem.
Yeah, you'll see him right here in the middle working on Nick Fairley. He does well at the start here. He's moving his feet. He has position, but when he starts to release, just let him go. No need to hold on to him. The play is past him at that point. Just an unnecessary rookie-type mistake by Cyril Richardson.
7 penalties on the Bills.
That's a lot early in this football game.
45 yards. Fred Jackson in the backfield goes out. The long pass over the middle is complete to Chris Hogan. That's Kyle Orton's best throw of the game.
Yeah, that was a bullet. That's the Kyle Orton that I know right there. The guy that has been in the league for 10 years. Just the release, it's tight ball in a tight window. And Hogan really does a great job holding on to that football because there's 2 or 3 guys that are converging on him. He knows he's going to get hit. It gives him a 2nd and 9. It's one way to turn the field around back for you.
That was a big one. Orton throws the screen to Jackson, and he's got room. Fred Jackson slips one man inside the 30 and down to the 24-yard line. Nice run after the catch by Fred Jackson.
You know, they had those penalties that backed them up, but really this is a turnaround because of that takeaway. This offense starting to feel itself. Kyle Orton obviously getting into a better rhythm, which you would expect, right? It's the second quarter. He hadn't played in a long time. He's got some plays under his belt now. He's finding some success. This offense now moving into the close to the red zone of Detroit.
And Fred Jackson not only talking the offense up on the sideline, but doing it on the field with a big play. Orton throwing and trying to hit Mike Williams, your former teammate.
There's a lot of former teammates on this field of mine, right?
Brings up a 2nd and 10.
It's after the play here. Ooh. James Jones, that's a little bit of a cheap shot.
Spun around, stuck an elbow into the midsection.
Unnecessary, but.
The 2nd and 10 with Fred Jackson, the running back. And 3 wide receivers. Orton, the throw for Sammy Watkins, and he holds on. He's brought down inside the 18-yard line.
Sammy Watkins had some issues with drops last week in Houston. But you've met this guy, this kid. He's got huge mitts, makes these type of catches on the regular. Look at that, one-handed brings that in, stops it. The concentration to bring that in after Adigbo's going to put a hit on him. That was pretty good.
Here's 3rd and 3. 3 wide receivers in. Jackson, the running back. And the ball dropped by Orton. And he's able to dive on top.
Lion defense has been rising up all day, but you'll take the gifts when you get it. Communication between the center Wood there and Kyle Orton. Just a bad snap.
Yes.
Just poor. You get your offense in a 3rd and 3 situation, and the little things, the execution of the center quarterback exchange forced that drive.
Part of it is Eric Wood had Ndamukong Suh right over him.
You got to imagine that had something to do with it, yes.
45-yard field goal attempt for Dan Carpenter is 10 for 11 this season. And this one right through. Important points for the Buffalo Bills. They got the interception by Stephon Gilmore. They put 3 on the board. Lions still have the lead. The interception by Stephon Gilmore leading to the offense for the Buffalo Bills, and you can see.
Says it all right there, right, Sam?
After takeaways.
Yeah, it's hard to drive the field in the NFL. 80 yards to go down and score is very difficult, but turnovers, key factor in every single football game, every week.
Jordan Gay's kickoff through the end zone. E.J. Manuel peeking over the shoulder of Kyle Orton. Orton came up with a couple of big passes in that drive, and the Bills came through with 3 points. Calvin Johnson missed a couple of practices early in the week. Practiced on Friday, seemed to be better than last week, but hasn't gotten a pass thrown his way yet. From the 20. Off the fake. Matthew Stafford wanted to go deep and went short to the tight end Eric Ebron. And Ebron covered on the play by Nickel Roby. Excuse me, the safety Duke Williams was covering on the play. Word on Ron Brooks, who was injured earlier. He's been taken to a hospital for observation. Suffered what appears to be a neck injury. And any further word we'll pass along to Doug Marrone, the head coach of the Bills in his 2nd year. Looks on. George Wynn back in at running back. Stafford again to put it up. Gain pressure. Dumps it off. Incomplete. Fans wanted a call on the hit on George Wynn. We got an update coming your way. Let's go to the studio.
All right, let's go to Carolina. Jay Cutler and the Bears looking for their 3rd win on the road this season. They would go to 3-0, and Alshon Jeffrey from 25 yards out is helping them go that direction. 21-7 Bears over the Panthers. Sam and Rondé.
Thanks so much. Bears coming back after that special teams touchdown by Carolina.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 on each team. Holding, offense, number 66. Pass interference, defense. Those penalties will offset. Replay, 2nd down.
All right, so the fans were right on the call on the hit along the sideline, but also the holding to Adrian Waddle, who's back in the lineup after missing time with an injury. 2nd and 10 for the Lions at the 20-yard line. Bush, the running back, splits out. Everybody out. Stafford puts it up deep and too far. We have 2 men down the field. Golden Tate along the sideline and Jeremy Ross, and overthrew everybody. Matthew Stafford just 4 for 9, 46 yards.
Well, we haven't talked much about Calvin, but look, see Gilmore right there is a safety just lingering over top of him. It's been that way most of the afternoon, especially when he gets over in his singled up side of the formation. See him down here, and that safety back here is going to keep an eye on him. This down here.
Again, the spread offense. On 3rd and 10, Stafford goes short to George Wynn. He gets knocked backwards. Good hit by Duke Williams, and there's a flag on the play. Denoris Searcy was injured earlier. He came back to the sideline, then went back in the locker room for further treatment. So the Bills down 2 defensive backs in the game.
Prior to the pass being thrown, holding, defense, number 24. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down.
Stephon Gilmore, and those are the penalties you just hate.
Yeah, we talked about this matchup here. Always going to be a guy over top of Calvin, but yeah, that confrontation at the line of scrimmage there. It looked like Calvin even got his hand in Stefford's face mask there, so Gilmer's face mask, so got away with one there.
First down, Lions at the 25. Reggie Bush dancing around looking for some room. Late flag comes in, and Reggie Bush up across the 30-yard line. And again, the penalties to be checked out.
Holding, offense, number 51, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So on the center, Dominic Raiola, the veteran, the 14-year veteran, the anchor of that offensive line. You like him, don't you?
I do. He's a nasty player. I never liked having to blitz through the A-gaps when we played these guys because he was looking to take the little guys' heads off. That was me.
Track 51. Track 51. Ready?
First and 20 for the Lions. Stafford with time. And he's got his man. Golden Tate up to the 33-yard line.
Love watching Golden Tate play. Watch this route here, just the stutter. Go, come back. Ball delivered right on time. Gets his foot vertical and gets upfield. I tell you, man, reminds me a lot of Hines Ward back in his youth days, youthful days when he was in Pittsburgh. Always fought for the tough yards, and that's exactly what this kid has been for Detroit since they got him here.
2nd and 2 for the Lions. Tate motions. George Wynn takes it outside. And he's got a first down.
And look at this. We talk about comparison. Separated at birth. Hines Ward did this his entire career, fighting for extra yards, shifty, elusive, can make you miss. I don't know if anybody else sees a comparison, but I definitely do. They got the exact same body type. They are productive players.
And both guys Super Bowl champions.
Yes, they are. Most importantly for them and Detroit.
First down, Lions at the 37. They went after Golden Tate right away in free agency and signed him. Reggie Bush. Not much there. Preston Brown, who's had a great start to the season. Rookie out of Louisville, 3rd-round draft pick. And he has really impressed everybody, leading the team in tackles.
Yeah, guys can't talk enough about the way that he's played and the surprise that he was when he got here. His linebacking cores, this defense switched from a 3-4 last year under Mike Peck, who's now in Cleveland, to the 4-3 when Jim Schwartz came in, and it fits a guy like him absolutely perfectly.
And he knows George Wynn. They played against each other. Preston Brown at Louisville, George Wynn at Cincinnati. Here's Stafford moving, faking, buying time, throwing an open man. Jake Collins missed it right through his hands.
Wow. That was looking to be a huge play. But Preston Brown does enough to reroute that pass to make Jed Collins just miss it.
I don't want to blame him now. He got a tip on it. But we've got a penalty on Buffalo. Defensive holding. So another Bills penalty. They have taken 9 penalties here in the first half. They're starting to mount, and this one could be very costly. Reggie Bush, inside run this time for a couple of yards. Up close to the 45-yard line.
Keep talking about Reggie Bush. With Joyke Bell being out, I'm telling you, we're going to see a lot of Reggie Bush in the running game. He's not usually the guy that you like to see run between the tackles. He's more of an edge guy, get him in space. We saw that earlier on the one pass reception. But he's shown that he can handle it. He did it in Miami a couple of years ago when he was there, carried the load, and they're asking him to do it again today.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford steps up, and they got him. Second sack for the Bills. Marcel Darius with the sack.
Marcel Darius having to step up today and be a bigger part of this defensive front in the middle because Kyle Williams is out with an injury.
We haven't talked much about that, but that's a big loss with Kyle Williams.
Huge loss
on the sideline.
Huge loss. He is a phenomenal football player, Kyle Williams. He had that knee injury last week.
Listen! Hey, 10, 27, 51. Hey, 52 and 27. 52. Ready? 280. Listen!
On 3rd and 8. Stafford with time. Throws low and wide of Brandon Pettigrew, the tight end. So the Bills stiffen. They get the sack. Big play up front. Marcel Darius getting the sack, and the Lions forced to punt. Bills are hanging in there.
Doing enough, right? Doing enough on defense. You take away that interception for a touchdown by Kyle Orton, and you're looking at a much different game at this point.
Fred Jackson back deep. Sam Martin's punt. Jackson a fair catch at the 15-yard line. Fox tonight is no ordinary night. It's Sunday Fun Day. You like those fun days, don't you? All new episodes of your favorite comedies, all leading to the season premiere of Mulaney. It starts at 7:30, 6:30 Central tonight on Fox. Mulaney starring the Emmy Award-winning writer from Saturday Night Live and stand-up comedian John Mulaney.
Mulaney. I love this commercial.
Bills start from the 15-yard line. Kyle Orton's the quarterback. Fred Jackson the running back, and 3 wide receivers right. Here's Jackson. And nobody there to help him out. Lions swarm to the ball and throw him for a loss. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. Bills hanging in there. Lions have the lead at 14-3. And Ndamukong Suh has been strong. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Defense is strong in this game. Neither team has gotten any consistency on offense.
Now, neither team under 100 yards so far in this football game, and it has been a defensive battle. Like I said right before that break, the interception for the touchdown is the only difference in this football game right now.
2nd and 13 for the Bills. They wanted to run the ball, but when they run into Ndamukong Suh, they have to go the other way. Flags fly. Kyle Orton says it was the Lions who jumped across. Let's see what the officials say.
Neutral zone infraction against the defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Sam, this is pretty funny. It's this. Everybody's moving except for Chris Wood. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and play. I'm just going to stay here. Sorry, Eric Wood. That's Chris Wood. Eric Wood. He knew everybody else was wrong. He was right.
2nd and 8 for the Bills. Orton puts it up, trying to swing it out to Fred Jackson off his hand. Ndamukong Suh has made the Bills get away from their run game plan.
You talk about the Suh effect. We've seen it all day in the running game, dominating whoever's lined up over him. Guy is a dominant force, and you put him over the center, and all of a sudden you get a bad snap. You can't, that's not a coincidence. No coinky-dink there. Ndamukong Suh showing his force today.
Credited with 3 tackles, but he has really disrupted the Buffalo offense. Jackson gets the pass, the ball pops loose after the tackle. I believe he's ruled down at the 19-yard line, short of the 1st down. And the Lions want a timeout as they have a chance to get the ball back here. Using their first timeout of this first half. For what's coming up at halftime, let's go to the studio to Kurt Menefee.
All right, coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll check in on the Battle of Texas down in Dallas. The Steelers look to rebound against the winless Jags, and the Ravens try to make it 4 in a row as they face the Colts. All that and more when we get back to work. Release at halftime.
Where's Terry? Where's Terry?
They look very comfortable.
They always do.
Do they work?
They say it's work.
Yeah, the appearance of it.
All right, what do you see here now? A chance for Detroit to get some points before the half is out.
Absolutely. Last thing the Buffalo offense wanted right there was to go 3 and out and give this ball on another potentially short field to Detroit.
Jeremy Ross is back at his 35. Colton Schmidt gets it away. Ross takes a look. He's drifting to the sideline. Fair catch at the 33-yard line. Flag on the play. Right back near the 20-yard line. 5 punts in the game for the
During
Buffalo
the kick,
Bills.
holding, receiving team number 49. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down, Detroit.
That makes it a longer field for the Lions. Saturday, 2 of the nation's top quarterbacks collide in a Pac-12 showdown. Marcus Mariota and the Oregon Ducks look to bounce back as they take on Brett Hundley and the UCLA Bruins. Coverage begins 3 p.m. Eastern only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. A couple of tough losses this week for both those teams.
Yeah.
UCLA beaten by Utah last night.
Yeah, it's been an interesting road here. College football these first couple of weeks, some big teams losing. This makes those games a lot more interesting, trying to get into that top 4 for those playoff spots.
You know, Troy Aikman's hurting when those Bruins go down.
Ready? Ready?
Reggie Bush in the backfield with Matthew Stafford. Pressure on Stafford. He gets away. Ball's not close. And it looks like the Lions have recovered. Good pressure by the Bills.
Yeah, it was just relentless pressure right there by Jerry Hughes. Stafford had nowhere to go with this ball, and just Jerry Hughes just, look at that. Ball awareness. Love defenders that have that ball awareness, and that's exactly what Jerry Hughes had right there.
3rd sack of the game for the Bills. Stafford connects that time with Eric Ebron, the rookie 1st-round draft pick out of North Carolina. And Matthew Stafford, a little grimace there.
Yeah, he looked a little shaken up. I mean, we saw him in our meeting the other day, and he had that patch on the top of his hand. He said it was turf burn. He's been on the ground pretty violently 3 times today. That hit in the back there. And that definitely wasn't a comfortable deal here.
There's Jerry Hughes.
He may have been doing a body debunk right there.
Listen.
Everybody out, swinging out to Reggie Bush. And he dropped the football, and it's ruled incomplete. So the Lions unable to get anything going. We were raving about the Lions defense. Have to rave about the Bills defense. They've come through very strong.
Yeah, the hurries, the sacks. This Bills defense led by Jim Schwartz there. Just as dominant as Detroit's has been on the other side of the field.
They've given up only 7 points in the first half. The other Lions touchdown off the interception by Rasheed Mathis. Sam Martin punts it away. Leotis McKelvin takes it. And he is pulled down right away before he's able to get anything going. Well, first half, defense dominant. Not a real surprise. Both these teams have gotten off to good starts defensively.
Yeah, we knew that was this game's going to be about both defense, and it's held true. Offense has struggled, minus that interception for a touchdown. I think this game would be completely even right now. Kyle Orton looked shaky at the beginning of his football game, but as he's gotten into his rhythm, remember, he hadn't played in a long time. As he's gotten into rhythm, he's gotten a lot more efficient. He still needs to get some explosive plays out of this offense. We haven't seen any of them so far today.
Orton sends everyone out and connects with Fred Jackson. He's had a couple of good connections, had a 26-yard hookup with Jackson, leading to the field goal that the Bills scored. The Bills used a timeout, using their first of 3.
you could tell that this offense, this Nate Hackett offense, Jug Marone, really emphasizing getting the ball to their running backs. And you know, a lot of the questions about E.J. Manuel in his first 4 games this year was that he was too insistent getting the ball in the check down. Well, as I watch this game now, Kyle Lord's doing the same thing. He's finding his backside of the backfield, hasn't pushed the ball down the field that often. And I think it's just the design of this offense. So the inaccuracies that we were blamed, that everybody wanted to blame on E.J. Manuel, is somewhat of the design of this offense. And you can see as we're going forward here in this game, Kyle Lorton will be just as insistent on getting the ball to his backs as E.J. was.
Orton 11 for 15, 105 yards, 1 interception. That was a touchdown return by Rasheem Mathis. Here's Orton throwing to the sideline to Mike Williams. And he is taken out of bounds in Lions territory at the 46.
Buffalo's got 2 timeouts left. They can still get themselves down into a favorable position here. Maybe get a late field goal attempt or take a shot at the end zone. And we're going to see what the makeup now of Kyle Lorton is in this offense. Before, in the games prior, couldn't get those type of completions right there, but that was a nice throw and catch to Mike Williams on the sideline. Something we haven't seen very often from Buffalo this year.
Jackson in the backfield with Kyle Orton. They line the tight end, Scott Chandler in the backfield. Orton's throw to the sideline is over the head of Sammy Watkins. Lions have gotten to Orton just after the pass.
Yeah, he's been taking some hits a couple of snaps ago. Dominican got him there. James Jones running through him. Look, he hadn't played in a long time, 4 games. His reintroduction, or Jason Jones, I'm sorry, reintroduction to the NFL. This Detroit Lions front is relentless.
Don't forget that sneaky elbow
That
Jones
sneaky
gave
elbow
him.
that's right, he got earlier.
There's 3rd and 2. Nobody open. Orton couldn't get away from the pile and get some running room, and he's brought down by George Johnson.
Can't hold the football that long against this Detroit Lions defense. And Kyle Lorton couldn't find what he wanted downfield. You see his receivers, and as I watched film on these guys, there was a lot of instances where they weren't open either side of the ball. Both guys covered up, forcing him to hold it. And George Johnson, who's had a really strong start to his year in Detroit, gets the sack.
Timeout on the field with 20 seconds remaining. Coming up on the Visa halftime, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league. Texas teams locking horns. That's Houston and Dallas today. That should be a good one. And a couple of other divisional battles.
Going through the pictures there. Look, they're not using the tablets. Everybody's got the tablets. They want old school. OLSKOOL. Old school.
Colton Schmidt punted away. Good high kick. Fair catch called for by Jeremy Ross. Flag down on the play. Back near the line of scrimmage. Some smiling chat back and forth amongst the players.
Well, this is definitely going to be either running in or roughing the punter. Craig Rolstad, who your referee back there, do that immediately, and it'd be the decision. If it's running into, it's only 5-yard penalty, and really you just don't have a decision. But if it's roughing, it's going to give the Bills a first down.
Yeah.
Here.
We're checking the yard markers.
Yeah, if he's looking at the yard to gain, then it's probably just running into, and they're going to decline it.
Running into the kicker. Defense number 42. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down Detroit.
Asa Abdul Qaddus with the running into the kicker call. Declined. It's Qaddus. Good special teams player. Matthew Stafford on the field. Final seconds. Detroit will get the kickoff to start the second half.
They're really going to have to get their offense going here. I know they got the lead here, 14-3. That man, Calvin Johnson, hasn't had a attempted pass at him yet. And other than the short fields and the interception for a touchdown, this has been a pretty even game.
Lions only 96 yards offense. Kyle Orton in his first half of the season, 120 yards offense. With the Lions able to get one touchdown pass to Golden Tate and the big interception return for a touchdown by Rasheed Mathis. Now to the studio, here's Kurt Menefee. Welcome back to Ford Field in Detroit, getting set for the start of the second half. Lions a 14-3 lead. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. Kyle Orton taking over as the starting quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. 12 for 17, 113 yards in the first half, one interception. There's Kyle. He's taken a lot of hits in that first half. His defense is dominated, but it seemed as if he got better in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think he was a little uncomfortable in the start of the game. The ball was out of his hands quick, but he wasn't finding his completions. But as he got back into the groove of things, he definitely was much more efficient as a quarterback, but he was definitely pressured in this first half. This Detroit Lions defense was all over him start of this game, whether it was Sue, whether it was Fairley, whether it was George Johnson, Jason Jones. It was anybody that they could get a hit on him, and he forced the ball to Sammy Watkins that led to the touchdown. Has really been the difference in this football game. Neither team has or is around 100 yards of offense today, and you got to look for them to start pushing the ball down the field to challenge this Detroit Lions defense.
Now, they had hoped to take pressure off of him with the running game, but they haven't been able to run the ball against the Lions front.
It's non-existent right now. Ndamukong Suh has been dominant. We've showed the clips, him battling on and winning on both guards and the center. I think it's going to be on Kyle Orton's arm, his unused arm in the first 4 weeks and really since Dallas' appearance last year to get them back into this football game.
All right, the Bills started the day 2-2, tied for first place in the AFC East with New England, who they play next week, and Miami. Looking to get on track. And the kickoff to Jeremy Ross. He watches it go through the end zone. And we go down to the field to Jen Hale. Jen.
Well, Sam, Rondé mentioned the Ndamukong Suh effect earlier. Lions head coach Jim Caldwell is a big fan as well. He says this defense has performed admirably. His halftime message was to the offense, challenging them to step up larger, especially in the run game and on third down. Not surprisingly, Doug Marrone's message was to his offense too, but it's the first down that he thinks the Bills need to do a better job on. And a quick injury update, Sam. At this moment, Ron Brooks is still at the hospital. Denoris Cersei will likely see some action this half, though.
Thanks, Jen. Lions start from the 20 with George Wynn at running back. Off the play fake. Stafford completing to Golden Tate, who pulls his defender across the 40, an extra 5 yards, up to the 45-yard line. Duke Williams all over him.
Little
Good job by Tate.
Yeah, a little showmanship there by Golden Tate, but tell me he doesn't look like the guy I related him to earlier. Finding an area in that zone, and Matt Stafford, knowing that Calvin Johnson there, we didn't show him in the picture, was clearing out the defense down the field. Leaves a wide open Golden Tate for a big play to start the second half.
Golden Tate, 3 catches, 52 yards, 1 for a touchdown. George Wynn is the running back. Quick to Calvin Johnson. There's his first catch of the game. He caught only 2 last week for 12 yards. And now Calvin, who has been nursing a bad ankle, was hurt on the play. Leotis McKelvin in on the tackle. And Calvin Johnson in some pain here.
He went down immediately after that hit, Sam. That was, I don't think Leotis was targeting him down there, but let's take a look at this. The slant, the quick slant. Great catch here by Calvin going down to get it, but yeah, it looked like his shoulder pad right on top of Calvin's knee. Hoping that's not serious.
Calvin walking off with a slight limp to this sideline under his own power.
We know it had the sore ankle last week, the week before. It's a big man. A lot of people like to tackle him low, so lower extremities get a lot of hits.
Jeremy Ross replaces him in the lineup. Straight ahead goes George Wynn. Big run for the rookie in his NFL debut.
Sam, I think you could have ran through this hole. How big this hole is for George Wynn. You can see the movement across the offensive line. Great block by there.
I wouldn't have been able to make that cut.
You would have could have made that cut. But great block there by Adrian Waddle. Open up a big amount of space there for rookie George Wynn.
6 carries, 50 yards for George Wynn. That was a 20-yard run.
Kill! Tag, yes, 33, tag 51, ready? Hey, fan, run! Waiting! Listen!
Quick pass and the grab by Corey Fuller. He's inside the 25-yard line. So this is quick release by Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Matt Stafford was, what, 6 of 13 or so, around 50% in the first half, but getting the ball out of his hands quickly here has moved him down the field. Buffalo's corners sitting in that off position. They're just giving up these throws. You see Calvin Johnson still shaking his head over on the sideline. We got to see if we can find out what that injury is.
Ready? Waiting!
Jed Collins is the fullback. Wynn trying to follow him, but a good job up front by Stephon Charles.
I keep saying that George Wynn is a rookie, but he's really his second year. It's his first action in a game, but he has been around. He bounced around a couple of organizations and 6 teams that he's mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. Getting this opportunity here.
First time he suited up in an NFL game.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush.
Hey, tag 51 and 52.
In the backfield with Matthew Stafford. On third down. Stafford wanted to go outside to the right. Nobody open. Flag on the play, and he throws it away. Reggie Bush didn't look back for the ball. And Stafford's original thought was to go to Reggie, but he wasn't looking.
Holding. Offense. Number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Adrian Waddle, the right tackle, called for the hold.
Certainly looked like he was targeting Reggie Bush here. You see him out of the backfield right away. The ball, he wanted to throw it. He wasn't looking. With the coverage down the field, all the other receivers. See number 10 there laying on the ground. He didn't have an option, and nice drive by Detroit. Fizzles out on the 3rd and short. Set up his field goal attempt.
Alex Henry, who joined the Lions 2 weeks ago, was 1 for 2 last week with a 51-yarder. This one will be from 44. And the kick is off the upright and out.
The Lions have been struggling in their kicking game. He had Freeze early in the year, missed a couple of kicks at Carolina. Henry was 1 for 2 last week, and let's listen to this one.
Nice day in Detroit. Bills start from the 34. Orton gets rid of it quickly and completes it to Robert Woods, who's out of bounds after a good gain up across midfield. Good start to the second half. The Bills' first possession. Kyle Orton 13 for 18 in the game. Ball at the Lions 48-yard line. The word from the Lions sideline is that Calvin Johnson questionable to return. Fred Jackson, the running back. Orton being pressured, swings it out to Fred Jackson. Nice one-handed grab and gets a short gain down to the 46-yard line. A pickup of 2 on the play. Fred Jackson does such a good job catching the ball.
One-handed, just the guy can do anything. He's the workhorse in his backfield. He did the adjustment, the body adjustment, turn around with his left hand. I don't know if he's right or left-handed, but that was impressive.
That's James Ahedebo, the safety. One of the safeties. Actually, the Lions had 3 safeties in on that last defensive play. And Ahedebo shaking up on the play. He just returned to the lineup last week. 2nd and 8 for the Bills. And getting back to Fred Jackson, 6 catches in the game for 50 yards. Gives him 25 catches on the season. One of the leaders in the league amongst running backs.
Amongst running backs. That's what he does, everything for this team. Him and C.J. Spiller have some crossover effect at running back, but he is definitely the guy they like to get the ball to.
Spiller, good hold inside the 40, close to the first down marker. Darius Slay with a tackle. The Bills, who had rushed for only 21 yards in the first half, get 7 on that carry. For the season, they've been averaging 122 yards.
Yeah, it's a duo last year that both went for 800 yards rushing. But today, as we continue to talk about that front of Detroit, been stymied this running attack.
Jackson back in the lineup, takes the toss and turns the corner. Nice gain on the 3rd down play. A first down for the Bills.
Let's call that play a dive option. Get the fake in the middle of the formation and you have a tight backside. There's a tight end on that one side, so he feels like it's loaded away from it. You put your running back on an island out there with who's ever defending that side. It was a nice call for on a 3rd and short.
Good drive by the Bills to start their second half, their first possession of the second half. Orton off the play fake. The blitz picked up on the outside. Orton throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Robert Woods. Joel Klatt has an update for us. Let's go to him right now.
All right, we all know how good New Orleans is at home, but they've decided to wear their white jerseys, so they're playing like they're on the road. Breeze, 2nd interception of the day. This one to Danny Lenzana, finds himself in the end zone after 33 yards, and the Bucs, 10-point dogs, are up by 11. Sam.
Joel Ronde was nervous. He was down. It was 10-0 Saints. Now he's jumping up and down. Great comeback by the Bucs. Looking for another win on the road. Fred Jackson in the backfield. And the Lions have got that all covered. Robert Woods was stopped on the play.
Let's listen to the hitting on this play here. These Lions defense is swarming all over the place. This quick screen and then
a lot of pops there.
Who at home wants to be a part of that?
There's a 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 for the Bills. Orton throws for Sammy Watkins, well covered on the play. There was some contact flag on the play. Darius Slay and Sammy Watkins were tangled up.
Sam, you know I'm an ex-defensive back, and I hate penalties in the secondary, but Darius Slay was absolutely mugging Sammy Watkins on that play, and the back judge there didn't see it, but watch as this ball is delivered to Sammy, and that's clearly a hold. Pass interference. There should be no discussion here.
There is no foul for pass interference as the contact is legal. It will be 4th down.
Hey, well,
wow.
they missed that. They absolutely missed that. I'm sorry.
Doug Marrone can't understand the call.
Yeah, I don't want to disagree with refs on air and all that other stuff, but this is past 5 yards. Look at that. He's beyond 5. He's got his arm. He's not allowing him to even attempt to catch that football.
Now, what about what Watkins was doing? Watkins had his arm up into the face mask. No?
No.
You don't buy that?
I'm a defensive guy. That was defensive holding.
There's a 50-yard field goal try for Dan Carpenter, who's made 1 field goal in this game. And this one is good. No! He hit the upright.
They're making music on either side of the field here.
He had the distance, but each kicker has now hit the upright.
Got some hollow goalposts here.
There was a lengthy discussion between Doug Marrone and the officials while we were away about that non-call. on Sammy Watkins, involved with Darius Slay. On first down from the 40, with Reggie Bush reversing his field and turning what looked to be nothing into a 4-yard gain. Jerry Hughes, helmet popped off on the play, chased the play down. So each team hitting the upright with their field goal tries.
Not just a quarterback. Stafford's a blocker.
There you
or an inverter.
I don't know if you want to.
No, not necessarily a
Don't
block.
want your QB getting involved there.
Man, that was a glancing block.
Obstruction.
Yeah, there you go.
Short drop by Stafford, and it completes to Jeremy Ross. Calvin Johnson remains on the sideline. Ross turns it into a first down to the Bills' 42-yard line.
It's going to be real important here in the second half if Calvin Johnson is indeed out for this game, that Jeremy Ross, who's been getting a lot more snaps on offense, that he steps up. Him and Ryan Broyles, who was up, Corey Fuller, who had a catch earlier in the game. Their workload is definitely going to increase as Calvin Johnson limps to the locker room.
I think we've seen the last of him today. Only one catch, and he got hurt on that play. From the Bills' 42. And they stopped the play. False start.
False start. Offense. Number 87. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Brandon Pettigrew called for the false start.
Yeah, as Calvin Johnson goes into the locker room, you know, we continue to talk about the narrative about this offense with Joe Lombardi is that they like to spread the ball around. It's going to be tested today. Calvin, as we know, through his 8 years, has been the dominant force at wide receiver, and he's gotten a lot of forced throws from Matt Stafford. But with him being gone, we're going to test out the efficiency of this offense and spreading it around.
Joe Lombardi in his first year as offensive coordinator for the Lions. Stafford completes it. Nice move by Golden Tate. Turns it into a big gainer. Stepped out of bounds across the 30-yard line at the 29. Great move by Golden Tate. Boy, he's becoming a fan favorite.
Well, and you can shimmy like that. How about the suddenness? Put your foot in the ground, get vertical. He's just playing with these DBs. Like I said, I saw a guy in Pittsburgh do that for years, and I can't tell you how similar they look, and I love his attitude. Give it to me.
Rondé saying very similar to Hines Ward. Jim Caldwell agreed with you in our meetings with him.
He's not the dominant blocker that Hines was, but put the ball in his hand, and they are.
The Bills 29, Reggie Bush. Not much there. Good job inside by Marcel Darius. He's had another strong game.
We talked with Golden Tate during the week, and you know, he's excited to be here. Obviously, his quarterback in Seattle was much different than the one here. He's going to get targeted in the passing game, and that was an offense in Seattle that loved to run the ball, was centered around running the ball. This one, obviously, with the quarterback that you have and the weapons that you have, is centered around the passing game, and those people that didn't think that him as a top receiver, they're going to see a lot of him this season.
George Wynn in at running back. Golden Tate 4 catches, 70 yards, 1 touchdown in the game. On 2nd and 11, Stafford goes short. The ball knocked out of the hands of George Wynn. Nice play by Brandon Spikes. We go to the sideline to Jen Hale.
Well, Sam, Calvin Johnson went back in the locker room for further evaluation on that ankle. At least right now the team is stopping short of ruling him out. Calvin is fighting to come back. Golden Tate and Corey Fuller, as well as some other teammates, were on the sidelines encouraging him a moment ago. So he says he wants to have that evaluation before any further determinations made.
Get a lot of tape out.
Yeah. You know, again, with the guys stepping up, specifically Golden Tate, he can afford to take some time here and figure out what's good for him going forward this game.
On 3rd and 10, out to George Wynn off his hands. He was the safety valve on the play. And George Wynn had it drop out of his hands. Family here, mom and dad in attendance to see him play his first NFL game. And now another field goal try for Alex Henry. 1 for 3 as a Lion. The former Philadelphia Eagle Missing the last one from 44, hitting the upright. This one will be from 47 yards away. And he misses that one. And the Lions' kicking problems continue. He's 1 for 4 as the Lion. They have missed 7 field goals this season.
Yeah, we talked about Nate Freese and his problems earlier in the year. Henry having the same problems for the Detroit Lions.
Had nothing but missed field goals here in the third quarter.
All defense and bad kicks.
Orton, pump fake. Puts it up, but Sammy Watkins fell down on the play as he made his cut toward the sideline.
This offensive line for Buffalo is really struggling today, Sam. They're just Kyle Orton pump faking, trying to give his receiver some time there, but guys, just that was C.J. Mosley we haven't mentioned today. Just another one of these Detroit defensive linemen penetrating this weak offensive line for Buffalo today.
3 receivers left for the Bills. Fred Jackson. You see the strength of Jackson, a good runner inside. DeAndre Levy with a tackle, but he's very close to the first down marker.
And they need that. They need to turn around, feed these running backs. Don't put so much on your quarterback to throw the ball down the field because, let's be honest, there's not enough time. He hits his back step and there's pressure in his face and he hasn't been able to deliver.
Good run by Fred Jackson, 7 carries, 43 yards. First down for the Bills. C.J. Spiller now the running back. Orton for Watkins, another first down for the Bills. Good timing throw on that one. And the Bills moving the ball. New this season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Orton is taking command of the huddle. He's got some confidence going and showing some veteran leadership.
You could certainly see what they saw in making this decision and their effort to stop the bleeding on offense by benching E.J., giving Kyle Orton a chance to lead this offense. He's been pretty impressive.
And the Bills need to put some points on the board here. Going outside to Spiller, but the Lions are there.
Well, that ain't going to work. Running to the sideline on this Detroit Lions defensive front is futile. They're too fast at the linebacking core. They're too quick in the secondary. C.J. Spiller's got some explosive ability. Yes, he could turn the corner with anybody in the league, but right now today we've seen he cannot get outside of this defense.
Tahir Whitehead led the charge and made the tackle. A loss of a couple on the play. Here's 2nd and 12. Swing it out to Spiller. One-on-one, he slips a tackle. Nice move. Knocked out of bounds right near the first down marker. There's a flag on the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 98. That 15-yard penalty will be added at the end of the play. First down.
That's a big one on Nick Fairley.
Okay, we'll see this on the right side of your screen here. Kyle Orton, that ball's 2 seconds gone, and Fairley, in his rushing lane, and probably didn't see him release it. Just can't hit quarterbacks. They're much more protected, and Jim Caldwell is still stoic, but does not like that.
And now the Bills deep in Lions territory at the 16-yard line. Fred Jackson, the running back. And the pass intended for Chandler is incomplete. Ashley Palmer was covering the tight end on the play.
Tried to run all seams there, and he was covered well. And Kyle Orton really forced this ball. See Chandler down there and slide down into tight end and put it right in the back of Ashley Palmer, who had great coverage.
2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers in. Williams, Woods, and Watkins. Orton, Fred Jackson. A hard hit boy. He lowers his shoulder and powers his way forward inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
How many pressures has Kyle Orton been under today? 7 hits, bunch of hurries as he's trying to get rid of the football. But he's a veteran. He knows that it's coming. He stood in there, delivered a football when he's needed to. He's got a good drive going here to get a 3rd and 2 down in the Detroit Lions red zone.
Fred Jackson, the running back. 3 wide receivers right. It's Jackson going inside the line, stop him. There's a flag on the play. DeAndre Levy led the charge. Good tackle by DeAndre Levy on Fred Jackson. Now let's see the penalty.
There's no foul on the play as all action was legal. It'll be 4th down.
We've had a couple of those today.
DeAndre Levy right there, the defensive player of the month. This is a heck of a play. Foul it, getting in that hole, making that tackle. Nobody blocks you. Up against Fred Jackson, who's been running through tacklers all day. Get them off on 3rd down, set up this Carpenter field goal attempt.
Levy with a good play, and then Rasheed Mathis came in to finish off. Dan Carpenter, who had only his 2nd miss of the season, on the last one a 50-yarder. This one, a short one, is good. So, the Bills on the board, their 2nd field goal of the game. It's now Lions 14 and the Bills 6. Tomorrow, Major League Baseball postseason on Fox Sports 1 continues. The scene shifts to St. Louis. The divisional series tied at a game apiece. Cardinals with a big first game win. Great comeback. Got to Clayton Kershaw, game 2. The big home run by Matt Kemp won it last night. And Hyun-Jin Ryu will start for the Dodgers. And for the Cardinals, John Lackey. Tomorrow, game 3, 9 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. That kick through the end zone, and the Lions will start at the 20-yard line. 14-6. The offenses have moved the ball a little bit, but not much points on the board in this 3rd quarter. In Detroit, the Lions 2-0 on home field this season. Have a 14-6 lead, start from the 20 with George Wynn in the lineup. And he gets nothing on that play. Lions without Joyce Bell and Theo Riddick, going with Reggie Bush and George Wynn. Wynn in his NFL debut with mom and dad in the stands today. Grew up a few miles from this stadium.
He's been impressive. He's got 43 yards on the day, minus those couple of drops that he had on that last drive. Been impressed with him. Coach and staff was raving about him, as they told us, as we told you earlier, and we're seeing why so far this afternoon.
Lions going without Calvin Johnson. Went to the locker room with a leg injury. Nobody open. Stafford takes off. Slides at about the 27. And a flag goes in. He was hit after he went into the slide. And he gets up, trying to shake it off.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 52. That's a 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
Big penalty on Preston Brown, the rookie out of Louisville.
Quarterback clearly giving himself up, sliding feet first. You cannot hit him. Preston Brown's going to be a little lighter in the pocket next week. Personal fouls always get a FedEx.
8-yard run, 15-yard penalty on Preston Brown. Lions at the 43. 10 penalties in the game for the Bills. George Wynn, and he's brought down. Nice play up front by Mario Williams and Marcel Darius. We're coming to the end of the 3rd quarter. The Bills with the only points. A couple of missed field goals in that 3rd quarter for both teams. The Lions have the lead 14-6. Sam Rosen, Rondé Barber, Jen Hale here in Detroit. Glad you're with us for the NFL on Fox. The Lions trying to go 4-1. Start the fourth quarter leading the Buffalo Bills 14-6. Second and 10. Stafford trying to set up the screen. And then there's a flag on the play in the backfield of the Lions.
Illegal hands to the face, offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, I think it's LeAdrian Waddle right there with his hands on face mask of Bryant.
Waddle's had a few penalties called on him. That's 6 on the Lions. I think they've got Waddle for 3 penalties in the game. The ball set back to the 33-yard line. Second and 20. Lions have not been able to get any rhythm going in their offense.
They've had some explosive plays with Golden Tate, but otherwise, no.
Empty backfield, everybody out. Stafford being rushed, and he swarmed under the ball, popped loose. It's still loose, and the Lions able to recover. Jeremy Ross picks it up, trying to run with it. The man without the helmet is Jerry Hughes, the defensive end. His helmet popped off during the hit.
That was an interesting way that play ended, but look at the twist game up top. Jerry Hughes just running through Rob Sims, and nobody knows that this ball is on the ground. And Jeremy Ross with the kind of a heads-up play there. This sack is going to go to Marcel Darius, who's his 3rd sack of the day. He's just been dominant. We keep talking about this Detroit front, but Marcel Darius is having himself quite a day as well.
5 sacks for the Bills in the game. 16 times that Matthew Stafford has been sacked. Good completion there to Golden Tate. But he's brought down across the 30, way short of the first down. And the Lions forced the punt. So penalty, sack, and the Lions have to give it up again. Good work by the Buffalo Bills up front.
A lot of credit to this Bills defense. We keep harping on the other side, but this Detroit Lions offense has done nothing in the second half. Only about 100 yards of offense. You know, they only had 92 or 96 at the half, and this defense has risen up when they've needed to so far in the second half of this football game.
The Otis McKelvin is deep. Sam Martin's punt high and deep. Fair catch, Wade 4 at the 25-yard line by McKelvin. So the Bills down by 8. Get the ball. Bills start from the 26-yard line. Defense has done a good job. Now the offense, which has put up only 2 field goals in the game. Looking to get something going. Kyle Orton, 18 for 27, 167 yards, 1 interception. C.J. Spiller on the carry. Gets a couple of yards on the play. Maybe not even that much. Tough to run against that Lions front. We've been saying it. They've only run for 44 yards in the game.
Look at that offense in the second half by both teams. It's not a lot there.
No.
Credit to the defenses. Obviously, talked about the open, talked about it at halftime. It continues to be that type of game. We'll see which one of these offense going forward can make the big play.
Fred Jackson tries. And he's got a couple of yards, but again, he's swarmed under, just short of the 30. Time for an update. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, Randy Barber's old team doing it in New Orleans. Look at this. Mike Glennon hooking up with Robert Perra, 6th-round draft pick out of Wyoming, his first NFL touchdown, and the Bucs lead 31-20 at the Superdome. Sam and Rondé.
I got to tell you, I've liked Mike Glennon. Thanks, Kurt. I've liked Mike Glennon since he started playing, since he was forced into the lineup.
He had an impressive rookie year, and his 2 starts so far this year have been pretty effective.
3rd and 6. They split out the backs. Orton gets time, throws short to Sammy Watkins, lunging for the first down, and he may have gotten it with that effort.
Yeah, I think that was a great effort there by Sammy Watkins. Plucked that ball right out of the air and aware of where that first down marker was. And see the end of this play here. Nice catch, but stiff arm and then the lunge, I think got him enough for the first down, and it did.
Tahir Whitehead on the tackle. C.J. Spiller's the running back. Spiller looking for an opening, and again, not much. Maybe a yard on the play.
Exercise of futility there. These running plays up the middle at this strength of this Detroit Lions defense with those two big defensive tackles in there is proving nothing. Look at that, 2.5 yards per rush. Detroit only 3.7, but it's a game where the guys, the big fat guys in the middle are dominating.
Frank Summers is the fullback. Fred Jackson the running back. Orton pump fake. Fires. And the catch made by Robert Woods at the 46-yard line. Good grab on the low throw by Kyle Orton.
Decisive throw here by Kyle Orton. And we know that they want to balance out this offense in Buffalo. Last week, Nate Hackett told us that they didn't throw it enough, or didn't run it enough, but look at that throw. Right on time, knew exactly where he was going. Receiver, most importantly, ran the route, and he delivered it to him.
Gain of 17, here's 1st and 10 for the Bills. Blitz coming. Orton in trouble, throws it down to the ground. And there was a running back in the vicinity. The fullback, Frank Summers, was there as Orton threw it at his feet and avoided the sack. Bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Bills, who trail by 8 points. E.J. Manuel, everybody trying to take a positive approach for the Bills, saying it's good for him to take a step back.
Well, he's sitting there taking notes. Yeah, I mean, he's got a veteran. You know, they wanted Ryan Fitzpatrick to be it. He wasn't it. They wanted the other guy. Last year, it got hurt, so he had to play. Now he's got a veteran to lead from.
That pass thrown behind Sammy Watkins. Orton was rushed on the play. What a discussion with the referee. Was there a talk of some late hits here?
Well, he's taking a beating, and this, it could have been. I mean,
the Whitehead pulled up a little.
Yeah, in my book, no. I mean, he's clearly not trying to drive him to the ground. Nothing malicious there. He's free hitter to the quarterback, and his momentum took him into Kyle Orton.
Big play, 3rd and 10. Orton pump fake and throwing deep. And Goodwin's got it, and he's out of bounds inside the 5. Marquise Goodwin with a grab.
What a grab there. Marquise Goodwin, who's the fastest guy, you could say, one of the fastest guys in the NFL. One-on-one, top of the screen, Darius Slay, and I don't care how fast Darius Slay thinks he is, he cannot keep up with Marquise Goodwin. Most importantly, though, Bills fans, what a throw by Kyle Orton, putting this on the spot. Big play, huge play.
First catch of the season for Marquise Goodwin, but a great throw by Kyle Orton.
Olympic speed there, and Darius Slay, who's had a pretty decent game. He's coming into his own in his 2nd year as a corner, but when you don't put your hands on a receiver at the line of scrimmage, it's not bump and run for a reason. It's not run and bump. It's bump and run. You don't stop him, you got no chance, and Marquise Goodwin was way too fast for him on that play.
Lions use a timeout in this 1st and goal to go situation.
Detroit.
Don't forget, the baseball playoffs are underway. Fox will have the National League Championship Series, the World Series. Fox Sports 1 has the Division Series Game 3 tomorrow night, 9 Eastern in St. Louis. The series tied a game apiece. Hyunjin Ryu for the Dodgers, John Lackey for the Cardinals. Right on Fox Sports 1. Next door, across the street, Tigers are getting ready for Game 3. Against the Baltimore Orioles, the Orioles leading 2-0.
It's going to be a busy downtown in Detroit. This game gets out. That baseball game's just starting. Exciting day to be here.
Start the motor.
Yeah,
we got the quick exit going. 1st and goal. Bills at the 4. Jackson. Flag on the play. Didn't get barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
Defense will be a first down. Illegal hands, hands to the face, defense, number 91. That penalty is half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
Jason Jones. The Lions have started to pick up some penalties in this game.
Just going to say the penalties are starting to accumulate, becoming pretty significant in this football game. It was Buffalo earlier with the penalties, and here in the second half, it's been a lot of them on Detroit. But right there, I didn't see that.
First and goal from the 2. Orton puts it up, wide open, touchdown! The tight end, Chris Gregg. The number 3 tight end wide open in the end zone. And the Buffalo Bills march 74 yards.
You talk about wanting to be committed to the run, and they've been trying to do that. They haven't been getting much traction, but when you do, you show a willingness to turn around and hand the ball off, it opens up your play-action pass game, and right there, Kyle Orton faked the ball into his gut, and his tight end was wide open for that touchdown.
And the Bills will go for 2 to try and tie the game. Fred Jackson in the backfield. Jackson to the goal line, he's in, and the game is tied.
You see the belief on the Buffalo Bills sideline. Play action, nobody there. Tie ball game here in Detroit.
The touchdown to Gregg, the 2-point conversion by Jackson. We're even. They hit Marquise Goodwin for the big pass, and then Chris Gregg catches the touchdown pass, his second career touchdown catch. And the Bills, who were down 14-0 in this game, have come all the way back to tie it up.
This game is sponsored by the new Samsung Galaxy Note 4. The next big thing is here.
Reggie Bush is on the sideline, and his return is questionable. He's got an ankle injury. George Wynn, in his NFL debut, will have to carry the running load. But now it comes to Matthew Stafford. He's without Calvin Johnson and Reggie Bush. Here's Wynn carrying on first down and gets about 5 on the play. Brandon Spikes, the middle linebacker, with the stop. So what a story here. George Wynn elevated from the practice squad because of injuries to Joique Bell and Theo Riddick, the backup running backs. Now is the lead running back with Reggie Bush out.
You know what? He looks as calm as you could possibly be, too. I'm sure he's been waiting for this opportunity since he got out of college, and here he is. Got to carry it through the last 9 minutes of this football game.
Short drop by Stafford. Completes outside to the tight end, Eric Ebron. The feelings about Eric Ebron is that everything is pointing upwards, that he's getting more comfortable in the offense and understanding the game better.
As he's gotten more and more comfortable, his quarterback has feel like he's going to be more reliable. The coach Caldwell said he has a unique upside, and as he learns all these positions and all these roles that he's playing on this offense, he could be a really special player.
3rd and a long 1. Ebron motions. Wynn cuts it back and drops short of the line of scrimmage. Excellent play by Stephon Charles up front. Getting playing time with Kyle Williams out. Charles and Corbin Bryant have been sharing time, and that's a big stop for Buffalo.
You can kind of feel, or been feeling, the momentum turning in this football game. Detroit has been able to do nothing on offense in the second half, whereas Kyle Orton has been gradually moving his team down the field and finally got the big play and the touchdown. And now they get an opportunity here to get more points on the board at this punt.
Lions are under 200 yards offense for the game. Sam Martin the punt. Leonis McKelvin lets it bounce. Lions touch it. And the Bills will get the ball around the 18-yard line. Jim Schwartz, 5 years the head coach here in Detroit. Now coaching up the Buffalo defense. They're doing the job for him. We're right behind Doug Marrone, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, as he watches his offense start from the 19-yard line. C.J. Spiller, the running back. Kyle Orton to Spiller. It's a couple of blocks. Brings it into a nice gain. Up to the 34-yard line.
Offside. Defense, number 91. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Jason Jones, the man who jumped offside. Kyle Orton, 23 for 34. Passing, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Nice job in his first game.
This is why he's here, right? This is why he's playing. The accuracy, getting the ball out to his playmakers.
And flags fly.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Get back to Kyle Orton and what he's been able to do today. Those 22 completions, 9 of them gone to the back, and if you just watch this picture here, is getting a little jumpy. Cyril Richardson, the rookie, knowing he's got a tough test, a little anxious right now.
What have you seen from Kyle as the game has progressed?
Definitely more comfortable. He has no qualms throwing the ball down the field. We were asking that question earlier, and he's done it so far in this second half.
Short drop, throws outside to Scott Chandler, the tight end. He's taken down at the original line of scrimmage, the 34-yard line. He took a big shot down the field.
Yeah, they hadn't been doing this much all day. They've been conservative. Keep the game tight. Let your defense play. And then he sets up this touchdown to Greg in the 2-point conversion. Gets this game all even. The momentum has clearly shifted in Buffalo's favor, and in large part because of the way Kyle Orton has directed this offense in the second half.
2nd and 10. C.J. Spiller looking for an opening. There's none there, and Dominican Sue grabs him and pulls him back. He's been the leader of the defense in this game. Strong inside.
Haven't mentioned his name much in passing downs and getting sacks, but whenever they tried to run either side of the center, and Dominican Sue was just dominating these offensive guards. About his 3rd or 4th tackle for loss that we've seen today.
Bills have run for only 48 yards in the game. Fred Jackson is in at running back. On 3rd and 9. Orton drops, throws to the sideline. Sammy Watkins, first down at the 49-yard line.
Orton is in a groove right now. Hit his back foot there and let this ball go out on time, and it's what they've been missing in this offense. Sammy Watkins was so wide open there. Watch this delivery of this football. It's tight. It's right on the target. Great catch. First down.
The game even, tied at 14. Fred Jackson, the running back. They try it again. He gets a couple. Time for an update to the studio. Here's Kurt Menefee.
All right, that 11-point fourth-quarter lead by Tampa is disappearing. Junior Gillette with a safety on Mike Glennon, and now it's within 3. 5:17 left to go. Sam and Rondé.
Thanks, Kurt. Here on the field, the Buffalo Bills watching Fred Jackson writhe in pain. And both teams have had some injuries in this one.
Yeah, this has been a big injury game. Both teams, and Buffalo, who relies so heavily on their running backs, obviously in the rush game, but also out of the backfield as receivers, cannot afford to lose Fred Jackson. He's their leading receiver today. Got 7 catches.
He's run for 50 yards. He's caught 58 yards passing. Tomorrow on Fox, we've got 2 shows everyone's talking about, even Rondé. First, heroes and villains collide in an all-new Gotham, and TV's wildest ride on a new Sleepy Hollow. 2 great dramas you can catch right here tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Fox. Fred Jackson limping off, trying to test that leg and stretch out the muscle. Looked like he grabbed the back of his right leg when he went down.
Looked like he was getting at that hamstring, but we're not sure what that injury is. We'll find out what it is. But as we get back to this Buffalo Bills offense, only 4.5 minutes left in this game, Sam. Right now, I think they got to think about milking this clock, taking as much time off, get a score, and then let their defense win the football game for them.
All right, they need a couple more first downs to get in scoring position. Orton throws it outside Scott Chandler, and he's brought down. Rasheed Mathis, outstanding play. Glover Quinn was there as well. Let's give it to Glover Quinn on the tackle.
Great read here. Coming out of nowhere, out of the middle of your screen and beating the block and setting up a long, 3rd and long for Buffalo. Really nice play by the safety.
My apologies on the missed call, but Glover Quinn came up. Excellent play. Here's 3rd and 8. Have to get to the 41 for a first down. Orton deep drop. Scott Chandler, the tight end, is stopped right away. Tahir Whitehead. And the Lions defense comes up big to keep Buffalo out of scoring position.
Yeah, just when they needed to. They got to stop. Almost to offside there. Right in. Got a little twitchy. Talked about that earlier. Some twitching going on up front. They're able to get off and get the ball back for Matt Stafford in this offense. We'll see what they can do when they get it.
Colton Schmidt to punt. Jeremy Ross back inside his own 10. High kick, end over end. Fair catch called for at the 15 by Jeremy Ross. So now it's the Lions' turn. Just under 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and the game tied at 14. And we go down to the sideline to Jen Hale. What's going on, Jen?
Sam, I tell you what, when George Wynn got the call to come up from the practice squad this week, his mom, Verita, was in tears. A dream come true, really, for this entire family. George celebrated by taking his parents and his 2 little brothers out for a steak dinner. They splurged and had oysters for the first time in their lives. The entire family very excited. He said his mom, who's a social worker for the Detroit Public Schools, has received more texts than he has this week, Sam.
Quick shot of the parents right there in the middle of our screen. Thanks, Jen. Now the Lions from the 15. Stafford puts it up. And a nice adjustment by Corey Fuller, but it went off his hands, incomplete.
You're looking at a Lions offense right now. No Calvin Johnson, no Reggie Bush. Haven't gotten much in terms of yardage here in the second half. These guys, these Golden Tates, these Quinns, these Fullers, these guys are going to have to step up here and make some plays for this offense. 198 total yards in a day. That is un-Lions-like.
They've rushed for 68, only 130 yards passing for Matthew Stafford. Stafford gets time, goes outside, Fuller holds on at the 25-yard line. And that's good enough for a first down.
Nice catch, real nice route. Buffalo's secondary giving them some room, and man, going to the ground. Good concentration there by Fuller.
First-year man out of Virginia Tech, 6th-round draft pick last year. His brother bears Kyle Fuller, first-round pick, cornerback out of Virginia Tech this year. Stafford working out of the shotgun on first down. Everybody out, flag on the play, and they whistle it to a halt. Lots of penalties in this game. 11 on Buffalo, 7 accepted penalties on
False start.
the Lions.
Offense. Multiple players. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Multiple players.
Let's go back one play, and I'm talking about George Wynn. He's still coming in the frame on Mario Williams, and wow, it's a big man to put your shoulder into, but it cleared the passing window there for Matt Stafford to deliver that play, or deliver that ball. It was a good play by George Wynn.
A little help for the tackle, Adrian Waddle. Stafford fires, and it's incomplete. Hard, low throw for Golden Tate. Bring up a 3rd and long for the Lions. Buddies took a 14-0 lead in the second quarter. Touchdown pass to Golden Tate late first quarter. An interception return for a touchdown by Rasheed Mathis to take the 14-0 lead. And the Bills have come all the way back to tie it. Pass outside to Pettigrew. And he went down to the ground at the 24-yard line. That'll bring up the third down play. It was the second down and long. With the clock moving. It's Fred Jackson on the sideline. Got some attention from the trainers.
Third down, this team has been great all season, about 53% complete conversion rate. And largely because of Golden Tate, who's sitting right there in the slot. We'll see if that's where he tries to target this third down here.
Lions only 1 of 9 on third downs in the game. Stafford in trouble. And down he goes. There were bodies all around him. And the effort by Jerry Hughes and Stephon Charles. And that is the 6th sack of the game for the Bills.
Coverage was there in the secondary. You could see him looking up the seam at Golden Tate, but before he got to deliver that ball, Stephon Charles and Jerry Hughes pulled Matt Stafford down for yet another sack.
And the former Lions head coach, Jim Schwartz, loving it as his defense comes up big, forcing the Lions to punt at the 2-minute warning. The Lions punted away. McKelvin gets back into the middle of the field, gets across the 30 on the return. So Kyle Orton, the last time he had a game-winning drive was back in 2010. As he takes his team on the field.
It's been really efficient in the second half, Sam.
Yes.
Really, they've been encouraged by this offense now that he's been there. 15 of 21 for 150 yards is really efficient against this tough Detroit Lions defense. And he's got an opportunity here with under 2 minutes to take them down on a winning drive.
C.J. Spiller is the running back. 3 wide receivers right. Orton being rushed, gets rid of it, and complete to Sammy Watkins. What a catch by the rookie.
Those are the throws that weren't getting made in Buffalo in weeks past. Sammy Watkins, you see him run this in route. Receiver underneath goes by, clears out that room, and a bullet to Sammy Watkins. Watkins makes a great catch here behind, adjusting. Get a big play here on first down.
And you've got to be agile and quite an athlete. You're cutting so quickly, you reach back to make a grab like that.
That's why he's the first receiver taken in this year's draft, and why Doug Whaley and that scouting department were so high on him, felt like they had to go up and get him. He helps your offense.
What an impressive performance by Kyle Orton, taking over as the starting quarterback, signed by the Bills August 29th, did not play a snap in preseason. Working as the backup to E.J. Manuel, is taken over as the starter. He's 28 for 39, 290 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bills at the Lions 47. Spiller hit hard. He got a yard on the play. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
Good, they're still committed to running the football here. I think you have to. There's got to let this clock work itself out. They're in a hurry-up sense here, but I'd be surprised if they snapped this ball before it got down there, and I'm wrong.
Orton swings it out to Spiller. And DeAndre Levy, good play. Didn't go for any of the moves. He took him out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
If I'm Buffalo, though, I'm still trying to manage this clock. I know trying to get down and score in position, but you don't want to leave enough time for Matt Stafford if you're having to give this ball away to go down and get their own game-winning score.
There is a 3rd and 11.
See that line there on the field? That's Carpenter's career long. That's where they got to get to if you're going to feel comfortable giving him a chance to kick the game-winning field goal.
Orton being rushed. The pump, and it got knocked down. Jason Jones. Orton came back over the middle with the pass, and Jones just batted it down.
Nobody says a defensive game is pretty, and this one's been kind of ugly unless you like defense, and we've been getting a lot of it today. Jason Jones with a nice play there to thwart this Buffalo Bills drive. He almost intercepted it, hit him right in the hands.
Both defenses have come up big. Each time Lions got into Bills territory, the Bills defense responded. Here the Lions defense comes up as the Bills have crossed midfield. Colton Schmidt with the punt. High kick. Jeremy Ross takes it at the 11-yard line with a little over a minute to go in regulation time. Lions have 2 timeouts remaining, but Matthew Stafford does not have Reggie Bush and does not have Calvin Johnson.
This is crunch time. Matt Stafford, don't know if I'd want a more capable gunslinger than him to have the football and try to get you down the field to get your game-winning score. He hasn't been great today. He's only 15 for 26. He's been inaccurate. He's been hit a bunch. He's been sacked 6 times. He's got a chance. The minute left, get the ball to his playmakers and get down the field here for a win.
Spreads the offense. Empty backfield. And throws and completes to Golden Tate. Tate trying to outrun the secondary. He is brought down at the 35-yard line. What a play. One play, one catch, and a great run by Golden Tate. 55 yards.
Can't talk about enough the importance of this guy to this football team. His name is Golden. It's Golden for a reason if you're a Detroit Lion. Quick slant, but it's the run after the catch, the yak, as they say. Huge play there for Detroit. Matt Stafford couldn't be more excited to have number 15 on his roster right now.
Wow. At the 34-yard line, the Lions are in field goal range, except their field goal kickers this season have been horrible.
Yeah, they're not going to sit back and wait and let Henry attempt another field goal. They're going to go in here for their score. Talk about pressure players. Calvin's out, we said it. Reggie's out. Only one huge playmaker on the field for them, and that connection comes together for a huge play. And Matt Stafford, opportunity here. 47 seconds left in this game
Lions
to get them in better field position for a field goal attempt.
Sorry, Rondé. Lions have only 1 timeout remaining. Again, they spread the offense. Everybody out. Stafford gets time. No one open. Keeping the play alive, heading for the sideline. Out of bounds at the 34. No gain on the play. Smart play there by Matt, not trying to force that to anybody down the field. All his receivers on both sides recover. You see him trying to find that's a situation where in the past, if Calvin would have been in the game, he would have just chucked it up to him and said, my guy's better than your guy. They spotted at the 33, give him a yard on the play. Career long of 51 for Alex Henry right now. If they set up for the field goal, it would be a 51-yard try. 38 seconds remaining. It's 2nd and 9. Golden Tate right here. Stafford trying to go to Ryan Broyles, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 9 with 35 seconds on the clock. They're going to throw the ball again here. There's one guy you can rely on. He's had a bunch of big plays today. Golden Tate, 6 receptions for 133 yards. I'm giving him a chance. If you're going to put it in a playmaker's hand, put it in his hands. Let him win for you today. Saw the 2 coordinators. Defense for Buffalo, Jim Schwartz. The offense for Detroit, Joe Lombardi. Here's the 3rd and 9. They go, it's tipped, and it's caught by Golden Tate, but the Bills have it covered, and they brought down Golden Tate at the 33-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 32. As Henry gets ready, let's take a look back at his misses today. The first one hits the goalpost. Second one, woefully left and hooked. But he gets an opportunity here. 51 yards. chance to be a hero. Last week he was 1 for 2 and he made a 51-yarder. So here it is. One career game-winning field goal. This will be a 50-yard try. Sam Martin, the holder. Todd Muhlbach, the long snapper. Alex Henry with 26 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, trying to give the Lions the lead. It's on the way. It's no good. Alex Henry is 0 for 3.
And that one wasn't even close, Sam.
And job security is not something that will be talked about for Alex Henry.
They lost a game in Carolina because in large part or some part because Nate Freese missed 2 field goals there, and 0 for 3 today. The definite difference on the scoreboard. You see the exasperation on the sideline by Matt Stafford and some of those other Detroit Lions. Another snap hook by Henry.
Can only imagine what the players are feeling like when they make that big play. Golden Tate gets you into the plus field position, puts you in position to score, and the field goal misses. So the game remains tied with 21 seconds. Let's see what the Bills do. Orton looking to put it up for Sammy Watkins. He holds on. Great catch by Sammy Watkins. Down to the Bills' 40-yard line, to the Lions' 40-yard line. With 14 seconds to go, and the Bills call timeout.
Terrell Lawson, the defensive coordinator there, decided to bring some pressure, and he left Rasheed Mathis one-on-one here with Sammy Watkins, and that little stem gets him enough inside. And what a catch. What a catch there.
7 catches, 87 yards. That's a rookie making that play.
He is one heck of a rookie. Anybody that saw him play at Clemson knows what this kid is all about. He's got a quarterback that's trusting in him. Big time play. Man. Time to step up and make a play, and he put it on him, and he made a phenomenal grab there.
Right now, a field goal try would be 58 yards. Let's see what the Bills can do. Fred Jackson is back in the game after he was injured earlier. Everybody out. Orton looks, throws it away. That was way too high for Scott Chandler, who's the nearest receiver. 9 seconds to go in regulation time.
No timeouts for Buffalo. He's got him deliver a pass to the sideline. Anything in the middle of the field, any completion in the middle of the field will be the end of the game, and they'll be in overtime. But it looks like they're going to bring out Carpenter now and attempt a 58-yard field goal here with 9 seconds left on the clock.
His career long is 60 yards against Cleveland in 2010. He's also had a 58-yarder in his career. Dan Carpenter for the win. It's on the way, and it is good. 58 yards. The Bills lead with 4 seconds to go.
Buffalo comes on the road, has to make a 58-yard field goal to win. New quarterback Kyle Orton, a couple of huge throws down the stretch here. And there's 4 seconds left on this clock. This game is not over. Still got to kick the ball off, but well struck. Straight down the middle and plenty of leg.
How about the pass? Orton to Watkins to get them into plus territory. Watkins with a great catch. Kyle Orton 30 for 43, 308 yards, and then the clutch kick by Dan Carpenter.
We know what Kyle Orton is as a passer. He's done it his entire career. He showed today and proved his confidence that his coach gave in him, that he's the guy for the job right now. They've lost 2 games in a row because of the poor play of E.J. Manuel, but get them in position. Kyle Orton did that, and Carpenter with a laser.
Wow.
Put them ahead.
Look at this.
How excited he is. take that interception off the board that he had in the first half. And Sam, this was a very impressive debut for Kyle Orton in a Buffalo Bills uniform.
They packed a lot of action in the last couple of minutes. Back and forth, field goal tries. And the Buffalo Bills, who were down 14-0 in this game, now lead 17-14. That kick is through the end zone. So one play for Matthew Stafford. Today's game produced by Mike Burks, directed by Michael Frank, associate director Tavis Strand and Ray Benassi. Broadcast associate Mike Strack, technical producer Tom Lynch, technical director Ernest Bauer, and the audio mixer Kevin McCloskey. We thank all of them for their great work. The people in the truck with their fabulous work as well. Rick Odioso is our statistician in the booth. Jim Petralka, our spotter. Terrific job by everyone. I thank them for their great efforts. And the Buffalo Bills about to go 3-2 and hold on to a piece of first place in the AFC East. Detroit will be 3-2, tied with Green Bay. The pass caught by Corey Fuller, looking to lateral it back. The ball comes loose. The Bills grab it, and that's it. The Buffalo Bills. Kyle Orton's first game in a Buffalo uniform is a huge success. He leads the team back. The defense did a great job. Let's not forget the great work of the defense.
And Schwartz gets carried out. This was a defensive game, but a huge win for Buffalo on the road.